Hello and welcome to Kings and Dreams channel. I am your host, Professor Econ Todd Allen from the Infinite Growth TV here on YouTube, standing in the captain's chair for Kings and Dreams. Reach out to him if you get an opportunity to. Kings and Dreams is taking a little break today. Got a lot going on. A lot on his head. Reach out to him, make sure that he's good. Because reach one, teach one, and we're all in this together. So salute him. And I appreciate the fact to be on his channel. And what we're going to talk about this evening is the 5 things that I've learned being married to a Colombiana. And trust me, it is very, very interesting. If you want to chime in and be involved in this discussion, please leave your comments below, and I will get to them as quickly as I can. Appreciate the knowledge and relationships. Salute the brothers. Yes, sir. Also, prayers out to him. Yeah, reach out to him. See, it's important as men, what we do is we reach out to one another. You know, we are our brother's keepers, and it is our responsibility to make sure that we're good, right? And, it'd be great if you guys could go ahead and reach out to him, make sure that he's good. Because we always need to support one another. He's good. He's just taking a little break. But as I said, it's always good that that brothers let each other know how important we are to one another. So let's get into this. 5 things that I've learned being married to a Colombiana. So why is this important to me? Well, coming from the U.S., we think that the U.S. is the greatest country in the world. We believe that there's no place like home, just like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home. But, when we go to other places and we get a chance to experience different cultures, different ways of life, the longer we're here, the more we can really start to appreciate the differences, right? Coming from, again, the United States and being involved in a westernized country, our relationships are different, right? When you come from a country where everyone is trying to chase that bag, when you come from a country where everyone is on their grind, trying to make it come up, we kind of forget some of the things which are most important to us, right? Now, speaking as an older gentleman, I can say that one of the things that I've realized is that, we are mortal, right? That we're not going to live forever. When we're younger, we full of vim and vinegar, we think that we're going to live forever. But there comes a time in every man's life when he realizes that, chasing the bag, working 40 hours a week, to retire, to live for, to be retired and live for 15 years more or something, is it really worth it? So it's important that we learn lessons, right? And so we learn lessons. And so what I've done, I've learned at least five lessons, and I'll give you guys one bonus here too. But 5 things I've learned by being married to a Colombiana. And the first thing that I've learned is that it's legitimate family over everything. I mean, legit family over everything. And what do I mean by that? Well, in the U.S., we get with our significant other and we're all booed up and everything. And we think, okay, well, we're going to go on vacation and, it's on and popping, right? Go to the vacation spot, in the jacuzzi, in the pool, at the bar, whatever it is, it's just going to be the 2 of us and we're going to get it in. Well, not so much being married to a Colombiana. And I think that this is kind of it's true with many Latin American families, I believe, that when you go on family vacation, it legit is a family vacation. Everybody is going, right? So not only are the kids, but the mother-in-law, the cousins, aunties, nephews, everybody is getting on that plane and they're going to the same place. So it took me a while to get used to that. It's like, okay, well, we're going to go on vacation, but I didn't expect my mother-in-law to be coming. I didn't expect my sister-in-laws to be coming, their kids and the whole 9. It's legit. Yeah, true Latin culture, passionate about family. Yes, XL Pro, you're absolutely right. And I mean, it took passionate about family to another level for me because, we were going to go to San Andreas. I'm thinking, okay, San Andreas, the island off the coast of El Salvador. It's still Colombia. It's populated by many people, melanated people that look like me, and they speak English. So I'm thinking, okay, it's on. You're going to go there, have a nice time, be on the island, in the sand, hanging out, chasing the old wife around the beach. Nope. Family over everything. And that means that everybody's going to be on vacation. So it was a first. And you know what? I really, really enjoyed it. I really appreciate family even more so. Even I appreciated it before when I was in the US. I appreciate it even more because, it gave me an opportunity to really get to know my mother-in-law. And it was amazing. Unfortunately, we lost my mother-in-law to COVID not too much longer after that, but I really appreciate being on vacation with her and having to spend that time with her in a different setting. And so, legit family over everything. And that's one of the first lessons that I've learned. The second lesson that I learned is, and this is for all of you, you passport brothers that are thinking about going overseas, and especially in Latin America, and in finding a significant other. Nothing is a private conversation. Private conversations don't exist. What do I mean by that? Well, everything is open conversation and is open to commentary by other people. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this. Let's say, for instance, that you and your significant other are having a conversation and there are kids around or there are other family members. They're going to hear your conversation and they're going to make a comment. I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to my wife and my son is listening. I say, well, what do you want for dinner? And he chimes in and says, well, he wants something. I'm like, I wasn't talking to you, dude. I'm talking to your mom. But that's the culture. If you ask a question to one person and another person overhears it, just expect that person is going to chime in. They're going to tell you what their opinion is. They're going to tell you what they want. They're going to tell you what they think. It is very, very different from what we're accustomed to in the States. And sometimes, we get mad, we get offended. It's like, I wasn't even talking to you. Mind your own business. Stay in your lane. We say those kinds of things. But, staying in your lane don't exist here. That's one thing that I've learned is that if there's something that I want to say privately, then that is something that I need to say behind closed doors when there's nobody else around. And, I got to look around, make sure that, nobody else is sneaking behind the door listening, and then have that comment. Kingsley, salute to my brother Todd in the chat. Thank you for your prayers and love. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back soon. Yeah, reach out to the brother, man. He's I'm not gonna be telling his business, but I'm just gonna say he's good. But he made grown folk decision, and I would salute him for that. And he and I had a conversation. We talked about some of the things that was going on with him, and I was like, man, look, just like they say on the airplane, you got to put your mask on first before you can put the mask on anybody else. So, and I just not only say that to Kings and Dreams, I say that to anybody who's listening, anybody who's watching, anybody who may be experiencing anything, experiencing something, and they need a break. Get with people that you love and that they love you and that they support you, and you're going to be all right. You're going to be good. You're going to be good. It's all about community, all about community. Legit family over everything. Like I said, the first thing that I've learned, and I really, really, really learned that. And this is just an example of that as well. Harris Tribe Media, peace family. Salute to my brother Kings and Dreams. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for your support. Knowledge relationship, a well break is always needed. Salute Kings and Dreams. Always, always. You got to be refreshed. If it's all about you, you are no good to anybody else if you're not at your best, right? So much love, all sending love and light. Yes, appreciate that. Getting these comics. Harris Tribe Media, welcome family. Yes. Okay. Item number 3. right? And this took me a little while to understand this. Again, because in the US, we are very individualistic. You know, if we hit our knee on the door, we walk it off. You say, "Hey, I'm good." Right? I'm good. I don't need any help. I don't need anybody to do this or do that. I'm good. I'm my own man. But just be prepared. Be prepared to be pampered. Be prepared to be pampered. What do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. My wife sets appointments for me, doctor's appointments or whatever, any other kind of appointment that I have. I mean, she's the number one assistant, if you will, to make sure that I'm good, right? She sets appointments. When we're walking in the street, be prepared to walk hand in hand. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, I mean, legit, put in the chat. How many times do you see couples walking in the street hand in hand? Right? How many times do you see people walking hand in hand? Whether young people or older people. Okay, or this. How many times do you see a father and a son walking hand in hand? I'm not talking about little kid. I'm talking about, practically a grown adult male walking hand in hand with his father. Or you see daughters and their mothers hand in hand, or daughter or grandkids and grandmothers walking hand in hand or practically hugging each other when they're walking in the street. Yeah, XL Pro, rarely nowadays. Absolutely. Knowledge and relationships, not often, because my wife and I don't know if that was the entire comment, but very rare to see. Absolutely. Very rare to see. However, what I've learned, never LOL with sons and fathers. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. When I walked my son to school or took my son to school and we were crossing the street and he reached his hand up and he grabbed my hand, I was shocked. I was like, I didn't know how to handle that. I was like, I didn't know how to handle that. But, my son will come up and he'll hug me, or he'll come up and he'll hold my hand, or we'll walk hand in hand or something like that. That is, oh, no worries. Okay, typo. It was new. It was new to me. But again, I come to appreciate that because, as I said before, the thing that's important to me now, and I know it will be important to all men at some point in their time, is to leave some sort of a legacy, right? To be able to leave some sort of a positive impression on the people that are in their lives. And, this is part of it. This is part of it to me, being pampered, and not just the mental and the physical pampering, but also the spiritual and the mental pampering. This becomes important. When I'm expected to go shopping. When my wife goes grocery shopping, it's expected that I go grocery shopping with her. And that is kind of interesting too, because it's an activity that we can do together. And you might think that it's a mundane activity, but it is something that becomes very, very important because it's a time to be bonding. And I'm expected when it's time to go to school, when my son goes to the school at old dark 30 in the morning, he's usually about 6 o'clock. We're off to school. It's expected that I go to school with him, and it's expected that I go to pick him up as well. So that's part of to me, that's part of the pampering. That's part of the nurturing. That's part of the formation that I had to learn, because that's not something that I was accustomed to, there in the States. My mom worked, my dad worked. And so it was nothing for me to be a latchkey kid, nothing for me to leave the house in the morning, go to school, come back home, empty house, and had to do a lot of things for myself. But that is not the case here. It's something that I've learned that is very, very, very different. Let me get to some of the comments. Knowledge and relationships. I meant to say, besides me, my wife, I'm holding hands. It's rare to see other couples do that. Most times I see them looking mad. They're looking mad because they're not holding hands, right? It's kind of hard to be mad at somebody when you're holding their hand. I noticed that. It's not saying that, it's Disneyland in my relationship all the time. But, if my wife and I have an argument or something and she reaches out and holds my hand, it's hard to stay mad, hard to stay angry with that. Our whole society lacks that admiration and adoration. It's sad, the lack of emotional awareness in all ranges of people in America. That is a great point. Harris Tribe Media Group. Excellent point. Appreciate you sharing that. And, if you want to expound on that too, go ahead and I'll make sure I put that in the chat too. Black Scorpion, that's Gen X reality. Facts. Gen X. Well, Gen X in the US for sure, because, they got Gen Xers here. And everybody does it. Everybody does it. I had a friend come. He's international business. He came here to visit, and we were looking for some business opportunities here for his company. And he saw, two women holding hands and two women, arm in arm or something. And he asked me, he's like, is this same-sex love or same-sex whatever? And I had to explain to him, like, no, it's just the way that the culture is very expressive, that when someone is important to you and somebody is you're taking care of somebody, that's one of the things that take place. I want to give a shout out to Eric Powell. Eric Powell, thank you for the super chat. What, you Kings? Okay, thank you, Eric Powell. Kings is not here. He's behind the scenes, but he's taking a break. But brother, thank you for that super chat. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you very much. Harris Tribe Media, I never told you to this, but your love for each other inspired me to focus my love for my wife. I thank you so much. I really appreciate that comment. And, it is much appreciated, much appreciated. And, we've gone through our challenges too, because she doesn't speak English and my Spanglish is challenging. So communication is a key. And these are the things that I've learned. And I'm going to go over a little bit more of these. But I had to learn that myself, how close friends are in Latin America. It is a different world, another planet. I'm just not accustomed to that. I mean, you got your boys, or you got your girls and people that are close to you in the States, but my best friend there in the US, we ain't holding hands. We're not holding hands. So, I meant, what's up, Kings? LOL. Okay. Thank you, Eric Powell. Thank you so much too. And King says, thanks, Eric, for the super chat. I'm taking this week off. I'll be back on Monday. Much love, broski. Yes. Yes. So let's get back into it. Thank you all for the comments. Keep them coming. Please keep them coming. Really appreciate it. So number 4, if in the States, we're accustomed to going out, nice restaurant, nice music, glass of wine, chilling, that kind of thing. Here, that happens, but not to the extent that it does in the States. Just be prepared to eat at home, to eat a home-cooked meal more often than you're going to go to a restaurant, right? I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and you're going to have a light snack for dinner. La cena is not as big as lunch. Lunch is going to be your biggest meal. Breakfast is going to be getting you started. It's going to get you on the road. It's not like in the States where you're going to go to breakfast and you're going to have omelet and hash browns and bacon and orange juice and fruit. No. This is my Colombian breakfast. I'll have a bowl of soup, all right, potato soup. Usually when they have potato soup, it's called caldo. They'll have caldo, which is potato soup, but it has a rib in it, right? It will have a beef rib in it. And the beef rib is boiled, okay? So that's the breakfast. So you'll have that. You'll have chocolate. You can either be chocolate milk or hot chocolate, some hot chocolate, and it will be bread. Okay. Some people have bread and they have Coca-Cola, but that's other people. That ain't your boy here. So breakfast for me, again, potato soup, because I don't have the meat with it. So I'll just have the potato soup with a bunch of cilantro in it. I'll have two pieces of bread, or basically they're like buns, and that's it. And hot chocolate. That's it. That's breakfast. Maybe sometimes I'll have a bowl of fruit. Today I had for breakfast, all I had was a bowl of fruit, and then I had what's called you either have coffee or what's called tinto, or you have aromatica. Aromatica is like a green tea, or it could be a red tea, or what have you. So that was breakfast. Lunch is really a full course. It's going to be rice. It's going to be some sort of protein. It's going to be a vegetable. It's going to be avocado. It's going to, like, for your salad and mixed salad, and then it's going to be juice or water or something like that, and that's it. And so later on in the day, when it gets later, you might have a snack, but it's not going to be something that's going to be big, because part of being pampered is you're going to be going to bed early. You are going to go to bed early. Usually I'm in bed. Well, right now it's 8 o'clock. I'm usually in bed before this. I'm usually in bed 7:30. Again, in the States, I was used to going to bed 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. That ain't that don't work here. That doesn't work here. Eric Powell, good cooking wife is a loving wife. You know what? You're absolutely right. And that's her way of showing her love for me, is by taking care, making sure that I'm eating. And she makes sure, salute Top Gun. She makes sure that I eat too. I'm in the office. I was in the office all day today. So she calls me. We do a lot of conversations on WhatsApp. She calls me and she's like, ¿qué comiste? What'd you eat? I didn't eat anything. Well, she says, come back to the apartment so that you can have some fruit or have something like that. She makes sure that I eat. She makes sure that I ate before she took her shower to go to the grocery store, making sure that I'm eating. Then she goes to get her shower, go to the grocery store, and she's communicating when she's at the grocery store as well. Bandeja paisa plate is amazing. I'm going to have to try that. I'm not familiar with that. If you can expound on what that is, Eric, we can get that information to the rest of the viewers. Appreciate that. So again, just be prepared to eat at home. We went to vacation last week. We were on vacation last week, and so we were looking for a restaurant. Even the restaurant that we went to is not your commercialized restaurant. This is a mom and pop, and they've got the big old pots in the back, and they've got the rice, and they've got the frijoles, the beans, they've got the avocados. Eating at this restaurant was just like eating at home. They are serious about making sure that you have a home cooked meal. Serious about it. So, item number 5, and this still is somewhat challenging for me, is that you got to be mindful that your time belongs to them. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of us are workaholics. Coming from the States, this is what we do. We many of us say that we believe in God, right? But then when we look at the dollar, it says, "In God we trust." So what God is it that we're talking about? So it's the almighty dollar. It's the greenback. It's the Benjamins, right? The Benjamins, right? All about the Benjamins. So we spend a lot of time working. It doesn't matter how much time I'm in the office. My wife has an expectation is that I'm home by 6:30, which forces me to make sure that I don't have time management, because I don't believe that time management is something that exists, because time is not something that we control. But I make sure that I have activity management, that I make sure that I manage my activities within a particular time frame or within a particular space. And so that has forced me to be more conscientious about what I do, that I'm very conscientious that I don't have wasted actions or wasted motions, because at 6 o'clock, it gets dark here. Here in Colombia, in Bogota, 6 o'clock, it's dark, right? Not like in the States and Ohio, sometimes depending upon the time of year, 9 o'clock, it starts to get dark. Here, 6. So the expectation is by 6:30, I'm in the house. By 7:30, 8 o'clock, we're in bed. So that is the expectation. My time belongs to the family. My time is not my own. It belongs to my family. And this is why this is a good thing, because again, as I said earlier, that as we get older and as men, we realize that we're not immortal. So that time is not something that we can quote unquote manage, but time is not something that we really have control over. And time is something that we have to be very mindful of. We have to be very mindful that the time that we spend with our loved ones is quality time, and it's important, and that we don't put other things above them when they say, hey, it's my time, right? This time belongs to me. All right, bandeja paisa, flank steak, blood sausage, plantain, beans, rice, yuca, and chicharrones, all on one plate. It's amazing. That sounds like something from Boyaca, or out in the the paisa. Okay, so yeah, near the coast. Yeah, they're big on the salchichas and chicharrones. Okay, well, I don't eat any of that. Don't eat any of that. So. But I've seen it, and I've seen a lot of people enjoy it. So let me do this. Let me do this. Yeah, don't tell Kings, but I added this to his channel here, because I know that in the past he had some music, and I know a lot of people wasn't feeling it, but this is grown folk music, so I hope that you all can appreciate this. So again, like and follow Kings and Dreams. Support his channel if you don't mind. Place money in either the super chat, or go ahead and send something to his Venmo, and let's support the brother in what he's doing. I'll tell you, he's grown his channel. He's done absolutely amazing things with his channel. He's a mentor of mine, right? Even though we have a slight age difference, I may have a little bit more gray than he does, but he's been an inspiration to help me grow my channel. And I'm sure that if any of you are content creators, reach out to him. He'll help you out as well. He's a master networker. Yes. XL Pro says, always chasing money in America. Yeah, this is true. XL Pro, okay, the music there. I'm gonna make a comment about this, XL Pro, if you don't mind. Always chasing money in America. You're absolutely right. And this is going to be a shameless plug for me. I wrote a book called The Truth About Money. This is on Amazon, The Truth About Money. And for all of you Spanish speakers, all right, La Verdad sobre el Dinero. And here's the truth. In America, we are used to exchanging pieces of paper for hours of our time, right? We're used to exchanging pieces of paper for hours of our time. But what's the real value? What's the thing of value? Is it the piece of paper? Here's an example. This is 2,000 pesos, right? Person on here, represented here, is no longer living, right? And then it has, scenic stuff on the back. But the truth of the matter is that what's the difference between this piece of paper and the paper in this notebook? It's the intrinsic value that we place upon it. It's what we place on our mind. If you make $2,000 pesos an hour of your time, then they exchange it for this. So what's more valuable? Your life is more valuable, because they're always printing paper, but they're not making any more time for your life. So the truth of the matter is that you are the money. So when we're exchanging hours of our lives for dollars, what are we doing? We're basically giving up our life. We're giving up our productive capability for pieces of paper. Putting this all together, this is what I've learned by being here, by being married to a Colombiana. The most important thing is not the piece of paper. The most important thing is the relationship that I have with my wife, the relationship that I have with my kids, the relationship I have with my in-laws, the relationship I have with my neighborhood, the relationship I have with my God, the relationship that I have even with myself, because I have to value me, right? I have to value me. So this is the kind of stuff that I've learned. But my time doesn't belong to me. My time belongs to my family. My time belongs to my wife. My time belongs to those things which add value to me in my life. So, okay, Will. Bring a grown man vibe, my brother. I'm liking this. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Appreciate that. Eric Powell just bought your book on Amazon. Well, brother, thank you for the support. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Later this week, I have another book that's coming out. Amen, brother. Yes, Jay Fleming. Yes, sir. I have another book coming out called The 28 Laws of Elite Lifestyle and High Performance Mindset. Or I'm sorry, Infinite Growth Mindset. So it's 28 Laws to Elite Lifestyle and Infinite Growth Mindset. That is coming out next week. Look for that if you don't mind. I really appreciate it. So I told you guys I was going to give you a bonus. And here's a bonus. And I'm going to give you two bonuses. Bonus number one. When my wife is angry, she doesn't express her anger directly. She will be in the kitchen, and next thing you know, all kinds of pots and pans are being thrown around. Kitchen cabinets are being closed a little bit more aggressively. Her expression of anger is very physical, but not physical directed towards me. Okay. Her anger is usually because she is wanting more attention, right? So her way of getting attention is going from zero to the moon instantaneously, but it requires me to be mindful and cognizant of why she is being angry. For example, my wife is extremely organized, and she is detail oriented, and she loves a clean house. And when something is not organized or it's disheveled and it's not in its proper place, she's not happy. And so, for example, I was taught when I was younger that when I'm done with my socks, workout socks or whatever, that I put them in a ball and I put them in the clothes hamper. Well, for my wife, don't do that. Separate them, put them in the clothes hamper. And so from time to time, I always revert back to my training. And so this is something that I learned in the Marine Corps, is that you always revert back to your training. So even though I was trained as a child with my mother, how to do it, I have to relearn things because that's not the way that my Colombian wife wants things done. So that's that. Second bonus is that I've learned that Colombianas are absolute professionals when it comes to knife work. So being mindful that my wife may not be happy with me at a particular moment, but understanding too that she's hell with the knife. Approach with caution. Now, my wife is not violent, but when I say that the knife work, the way that they cut fruits and vegetables and meat and everything else is nothing short of amazing to me. You think that hibachi grill and ginseng knives have nothing on my wife. My wife she's a professional when it comes to the knife work and the knife skills. So those are 7 things that I've learned by being married to a Colombiana. Also, it's important to know too that when you are talking with someone, learning another language, it's important to know that they respect you a lot more when you're trying to learn their language. When I'm trying to learn my wife's language, and she forgets sometimes that I'm not fluent, because her expectation is that I know. And so sometimes she'll speak 1,000 miles a minute, and I have to ask her, is that one word? How many words is that? Is that one word or several? But she comes to realize that, sometimes I'm not fluent. I used to use that as an excuse to not have to have conversation, but that's because I wasn't very confident in my Spanish. But now I'm a lot better. I'm a lot better. I know I'm a lot better because now I can even say prayers in Spanish. And so that was a big thing for me, is that when my wife and I would pray, she would pray in Spanish and I would pray in English, and I didn't always understand what she was praying. Now that I do, I can sometimes also pray in Spanish as well. We have a neighbor who's going through some hardships, and this is one thing I love about my wife. I mean, incredible about her is that we have a neighbor whose husband was robbed the other day, and they were robbed, and so they were without some of the things that they need, food, etc., etc. So my wife contacted the lady, had the lady come to our apartment, and my wife was being generous in giving her money, and that's just kind of what we do. We if we have it, I always tell people that when the Almighty blesses you and you have the resources and you can do things, it is your responsibility to pass it forward, and without fanfare. It's your responsibility to do so in secret. It's not something that you have to be, you have to tell the world to be elevated. But I'm just telling you this because this is a way for me to honor my wife in this format. Her heart, the way her heart for people, her heart for other people is just absolutely amazing to me. And so my wife wanted us to pray together for this family. And so she asked me, she said, well, you can pray in English, but I was able to pray in English and then also part of it in Spanish as well. That is a comfort to me. And just to see the response or reaction that my wife gives me when I may do that is nothing short of inspiring, right? Inspiring. So XL Pro, responding to the knife work that my wife has. She cuts very, very well. Garden scientist, thank you for that. Salute the king. Yes, salute the king. Definitely that. I'm trying to think if there's another one I can share with you. And when I say these things that I've learned, I want you to be clear as well that, coming here to Colombia, I didn't know what to expect, but I came with my own preconceived notions as to how relationships should be, right? Because I come from a Western mindset, coming from the United States into this situation and being submersed into the culture, being submersed into the family dynamic. The fact that my family accepted me without pretense, and understanding that, hey, he doesn't understand the language. And so it was my mother-in-law who pulled me to the side, and we would drink coffee together, and she taught me all the bad words that I was hearing on the streets. She taught me what all that stuff meant. And XL Pro, I've been learning some Spanish. That's awesome. There are some good content providers here. Learn Spanish. Aprende Español conmigo is a good one. Learn Spanish. Habla conmigo is another content provider that is excellent. I would highly recommend that you take some of their courses also, if you want to become very, very proficient very, very quickly. Those are good sources. But my mother-in-law would have coffee with me, and she taught me all of the curse words. She taught me the foul language that I was hearing on the street. She told me what that all meant, and it was very it was an interesting dynamic when my mother-in-law did that, because you know it took me a long time to really understand any words that my mother-in-law was saying, because just like in the US, depending on where you are, the accents are different, right? The accents are different in Alabama than Georgia and Florida and parts of Texas, and I mean Arkansas, forget about it. I don't even know if they speak English. But it's the accents are different. So listening to my mother-in-law, trying to pick up the accent, trying to separate the words so that it can have clearer meaning was challenging for me. But the time that I would have with my mother-in-law, drinking coffee, tinto, it was liberating, and it helped me to feel part of the family. It helped me to feel important. XL Pro, he says, I've lost it. Hold on one second. He said he's been learning Spanish. I think he said from South Alabama. So you understand what I mean by accents, right? Yeah, South Alabama. I had a friend who was it was a long time ago. We played soccer together. He was from England, and this is a joke that he had. People would hear his accent. He would say, "Well, where are you from?" He would say, "South Alabama," with his British accent. So I thought that was funny back then. So things I've learned: family over everything, legit family over everything. Family, in all vacations. If you want a vacation and the kids are out of school, the kids are coming. Nieces, nephews, the whole family. We went to Anapoima. It was a vacation, Anapoima. I'm thinking, okay, it's the wife and I. No, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, their newborn baby, their older daughter, my nieces, my daughter, my son, sister-in-law, her boyfriend, her son, everybody. So, if you're married and you think that there's going to be a vacation and there's going to be some cardinal knowledge that's going to be passed about, nope, tie a knot in it, candidate. It's not going to happen. So that is the reality of it, right? Also, there's no such thing as called a private conversation. If you are in an open space and other people are in earshot of you, it becomes a public conversation, and they will make their comments be known. Be prepared to be pampered, mano in mano, hand in hand, arm in arm. Just be prepared that there's going to be public displays of affection. Just be prepared. Be prepared to eat at home often, more so than in a restaurant. Just be prepared. Be mindful that your time is not your own. It belongs to the family, right? Understand that when your significant other goes from 0 to the moon or 0 to 100 instantly, it's really a way to say that they want attention and they want understanding. And lastly, just know that the knife skills are on fleek. Incredible knife skills. Oh, one more bonus. And this was, I still don't get this, right? Bandana travels 100%. Yes. Now, we like pets in the US. We like pets. But people here like pets. They love pets. It's to the nth degree. We don't love pets like they love pets here. No. My wife used to say, amor. Amor. Okay, I say amor. It's, what are you doing, love? So I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is a show of affection, calling me love all the time. Hola, amor. Buenos dias, amor. Buenas noches, amor. All these different things, right? Amor, amor, amor. So I was out playing in the park with my son, and there was a little girl who had her little dog, right? Her little I don't know if it was itty bitty thing. The dog is so small, I don't even know why they call it a dog. It shouldn't even belong in the canine family, right? So, I mean, we're used to dogs. Dogs are, Labradors or Rottweilers or something like that. Not so many Rottweilers here. There are some. The vigilantes usually, the guards usually have the Rottweilers, but needless to say, this dog was small. Every other word when she's talking to this pet was amor. Venga, amor, come here, amor. And she's talking to the dog like this, or adults will call their pets, their children, hola hijo, venga hijo, or hija, or whatever. I mean, and I'm like, you're talking to the dog or the cat as if it's a human being. And they do that, and they love them. And the dogs are not on leashes here. The dogs are running around just like they're adults. I mean, they love their animals, And so, I'm not a cat person, but I became a cat person. So we have two cats. One's called Pascal, right? It's a black cat. And I decided that after a year that I wanted to have a cat. And so my cat's name is Galileo Cervantes Diaz Gonzalez Williams. Very Colombian. My cat is a Siamese cat. And so I had to learn to, I don't treat the cat like it's a human being, but I had to learn to love the cat. And so, which is really interesting. When you come to South America, if you're involved with a significant other, male or female, realize that their pets are going to be very, very, very important to them. And you're going to have to learn to not maybe love pets as much, but at least tolerate the relationship. So that's it for me here on Kings and Dreams this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are, talking about the 5 lessons that I've learned by being married to a Colombiana. And I gave you 3 bonuses as well. I really appreciate you all supporting this channel, supporting Kings and Dreams. Again, he's a fantastic guy. Reach out to him. If you are also looking for consultations in terms of traveling to Medellin, get with him. He has consultation services available. He will definitely help you and steer you in the right direction. My life has changed for the better just knowing Kings and Dreams, being associated with him. And he's allowed me to be on this platform and share with you all today. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. And he always says to be purposefully purposeful. And that is what I'm going to leave you with tonight. Be purposefully purposeful in all your actions and all your activity. And remember, this great experience of life does not work without you being among us. So please be mindful and take care of yourself. Until next time, I'm Todd Allen, sitting in for Kings and Dreams. Peace and success.